Good afternoon and welcome, Derby fans, back to the hangar here at Oaks Park for game number 2 of today's activities. We have Montreal skating against Team Black Diaspora. Excited about this matchup. Both teams looking good yesterday. So without any further ado, just a couple of things to remind every fan here. Please stay on our side of the black bumpers for your safety as well as the safety of the skaters. Seems pretty self-explanatory. And please don't walk in front of the crowd during the jams. Wait till there's a break and then make your way through. There'll be people helping you with that. Without further ado, we're going to bring out the teams here. I got in the white jerseys today, Team Black Diaspora. 007 is Poison Violet. 05 is Sprint Julep. Number 10, Swift Justice. 144 is Holden Killfield. 18 is Thumper. Number 20, Murda. 202 is Freight Train. 21, Blackjack. 221, Yeti. 26, Coco Fry. 301, Black Soul Rose. 3381, Hellenati. Number 7 is Diamond. 76, Queen Lucia Tifa. And 777 is Perfect. That's Black Diaspora.
And in the neon green and pink, we've got Montreal Roller Derby's new skids on the block. Number 008, Lowrider. 03, Grayson. 1017, Bigley Smalls. 113, Foulindra. 123, Miracle Whips. 13, Alcatraz. 1773, Magnum PEI. 1969, Daynata. 289, Cheese Grater. 59, Chloe David. 66, Falcon Punch. 85, Artsy Choke. 913, Blue Butt. 999, KT Kaboom. And 9999, Manj. New skids on the block.
Hey.
Hey, Scott, how you doing?
I'm doing all right, Murray. How are you?
Oh, I'm a million kinds of awesome. I am excited to be down here for the Hometown Throwdown 2023, especially since it's like not in the dead of summer anymore.
Right? It's not 9 million degrees. It's only about 7 million degrees in the lovely mezzanine of the hangar at Oaks Park.
So this is the consolation round of the Hometown Throwdown.
Yes.
Last night, Montreal fell to Denver's Mile High Club. And Team Black Diaspora was rolled underneath the wheels of justice. But
yes, but a fun game it was. Both of those games were really good. Very entertaining.
And we're going to see some great derby starting in about 5-4 numbers.
Some number of seconds.
Yeah.
We got a swoopy at first.
It's starting off on the jam line, number 59, Chloe David for the new skids.
And that is 007 Poison Violet jamming for Team Black Diaspora.
Just a thick scrum start to go off. Chloe David knocked to the inside, recycling back around. Caught behind 76, Queen Lucy Tifa.
Yeah, Queen Lucy Tifa coming off of just playing in the last game as well. And like, I'm just going to do it again. What the heck? Reset, put on a different shirt.
Just an absolute triforce of power up there at turn 1 by Team Black Diaspora, holding in Chloe David. And, about the same can be said against 007 Poison Violet back by the jam line.
Yeah, Blackjack and Cheese Grater just sort of, we'll just hang out here in the middle. We got to sort of stand so that the pack's a real thing.
Chloe David pushing down, going around and through after almost a full minute lead jammer for the new skids on the block.
Poison Violet almost clear, but the foot rolls out of bounds. Pops back up. Alcatraz as the bump out, having been swung into the way.
Chloe David gets through, scores a full contingent of points thanks to a big opening there by Cheese Grater, who immediately goes back to defense, holding Poison Violet in the pack.
Yeah, tripod at the front, anchored by number 13, Alcatraz for Montreal, as everybody rolling and sliding through. Black Diaspora trying some offense now, having a bump back onto defense. Put Chloe David through 4 more.
Looks like Poison Violet's trying to do some fake out star passes. But New
Yes.
Skids are just all over her like stink on a wrist guard.
She had a couple of really good behind-the-back passes and finally does complete that pass, handed off to Blackjack. Jam is called. The third for 12-0 to start off our game. And next up on the Jam on Hawthorne jam line, number 123. That would be Miracle Whips.
That is.
And that would be Freight Train. Two of my favorite jammers in the world.
Full contingent of skaters on the track. Miracle Whips trade numbers with everyone in a white jersey trying to get through. And there is Freight Train showing that trademark power going to the penalty box, though.
Oh, not at all laughing to the Laughing Planet penalty box. Just stepped out of bounds and kept pushing.
So that penalty was called right before Freight Train got through. Miracle Whips is lead jammer now in scoring contention, putting the whole pack in the rear view for a 4-point scoring pass.
Bigley Smalls sitting a forearm penalty for Team Montreal. I'm just apparently going to lead every team with team today.
Miracle Whips seen a lot more defense this scoring pass. Big hit there for number 26, Coco Fry. Freight Train out of the box, through the pack. Initial pass made for Team Black Diaspora.
Miracle Whips facing all four blockers from Black Diaspora. Calls off the jam, adding 3 to the total. 7 points overall, 19-0 now, Montreal.
187 killer pads, often imitated, never duplicated. Stick with the best 187 killer pads. 1969 for Montreal is Dinata. And they are going up against...
That is 33-81, hella naughty. Ooh, but Dinata is apparently, I don't know what witchery that was, but through the middle of the pack, apparently not touched to grab lead jammer.
Arenati scrambling at the front of the pack. They're held by a Triforce of New Skids. Dinata now in scoring contention, try to hit that outside line. Goes in, goes out, goes through for 4 points.
Sneaking past Sprint Julep as the last line of defense there to grab the 4. And now everyone back in a big group. Helenati reaching for the helmet cover but didn't pull it off. Laughing Planet penalty box empty. Both teams full strength.
That's a thick pack coming onto the back stretch there.
And Helenati forced to the infield, has to recycle back, rolled back by 008 Low Rider for Montreal. And Dinata adds 4 more to the Montreal total. Now the star passed off quickly to Blackjack.
There's a bit of a sacrifice fly there on the Montreal blocker. What was a legal hit, but it did open up the line for Dinata to get through on that last scoring pass. Forced to call it off now. 8 more for New Skids. Team Black Diaspora still scoreless, 24.5 minutes remaining in the first period.
And each team will start the next jam 1 shy as Cheese Grater serving that direction penalty for Montreal. Queen Luzitifa in the box on a high block. And now we got number 66 Falcon Punch jamming for Montreal
Up against Swift Justice for Team Black Diaspora.
And Swift Justice, almost out, but bumped out of bounds. Falcon Punch through first, lead jammer Montreal.
Blink and you miss it. Falcon Punch already again, but just gets absolutely shellacked. I was about to say some bad words there. 144 holding Killfield.
Star pass on Black Diaspora to Yeti. And Yeti able to sneak in a point. Puts Black Diaspora on the board 31-1 as each jammer picking up a point there. So 23-15 to go in the first period. Jammer Faulindra out to jam for Montreal.
007 Poison Violet for Team Black Diaspora. Got a sprinting start there.
Like lowrider trying to get to the penalty box, like, I'm stuck in the pack. No, honestly, I'm trying to get out of here.
And there is Poison Violet out in front. Lead jammer Team Black Diaspora. Falindra caught behind number 20 Murda.
Oh, big attempted apex jump by Poison Violet. That killer apex jump attempt, sponsored by Killer Burger, knocked short by KT Kaboom, who did bring the boom on that play.
The pack goes back half a lap. Almost losing a time zone there.
Direction of play penalty sending Alcatraz to the penalty box.
This is the first scoring pass for Poison Violet.
Falindra still on the initial, I believe, and caught up. Excellent defense work at the front of the pack. As Diamond holding the kickstand at the front.
Poison Violet has one to beat, but
Everybody.
that was a one-person four-wall just
Yeah.
absolutely stymieing the entire team, allowing the pack just to come in, envelope both jammers.
Poison Violet forced out and rolls back. Falindra still trapped. Getting some shoulder pressure from Blaxel Rose. Now hung up by number 20 Murda. As Blackjack's sitting now, stepping into the bridge, and a star pass off Alcatraz. Number 13 picks up the star.
Not going to get around in time as the jam is called off. The 4 hardest earned points you ever did see for Team Black Diaspora.
That was a lengthy jam, but well played both sides. Lots of good regrouping and rearrangement. All right, Freight Train back out to jam against number 59, Chloe David.
Full contingent of skaters on the track as we start this jam off. Freight Train running wild, going through. Back-to-back lead jams, Team Black Diaspora.
Chloe David also clear, about a half a lap away. Freight Train spinning before being derailed and sent out of bounds. Only able to get 3, but that is a second straight shutout jam for Montreal. And we sit 31-8. New Skids in the lead. 20 minutes to go in the half.
I'd like to thank Black Cat Plumbing, your local neighborhood plumbing company and proud sponsor of RCR since forever.
Since 1842, I believe. I don't know when Portland was actually founded. That'd probably be the better date to call out.
I do know that Swift Justice is jamming up against Miracle Whips.
Yes. And that nobody's really moving much because they're all just glommed at the jammer line.
Yeah, this whole game so far has been just a defensive clinic by both teams.
The jam on Hawthorne jammer line being very sticky. Someone spilled the syrup. Hey, Miracle Whips bounces off everybody. And finally comes out the front, lead jammer.
Swift Justice stashes the star. Has a big skate back there for number 008 Lowrider.
And 4 points up for Miracle Whip. Star pass complete. So Blackjack now holding the star in hand. Has yet to put it on, but also hasn't completed the initial pass.
Miracle Whip seeing just everyone in a white jersey there, right by the jam line. Blackjack out of the pack. Initial pass made for Team Black Diaspora.
Yeah, Lowrider trying to stay in front, but not quite able to maintain it. Miracle Whips calls off the jam. 3 more, so a 7-point run for Miracle Whips takes us to 38-8.
Zoom Care. It's the healthcare you need when, where, and how you want it. Check out zoomcare.com.
All right, back again, 1969, De Nada. Jamming against number 3381, Hella Naughty. Hellenauti, couple to beat. Getting some offensive assistance from Holden Killfield.
Donata just pancaked right there at turn 1. Bounces right back up, and it's going to be a power jam for Montreal.
Yeah, Hellenauti picking up the high block penalty. And Montreal will get a little relief.
Power jam and pack advantage for New Skids.
Yes.
As
Cheese grater now back out to even things up. Donata bouncing left to right, and Black Diaspora again, just as said I've said all weekend, like the defense is being able to absorb the hits and then regroup. That's just been excellent in this tournament. Montreal now breaking off of the offensive attempts to prepare for the return of Hellenauti.
After all that time, Donata finally gets through. Lead jammer, but that baby has been eaten all the way up. Big run back there to rejoin the pack, get in legal skating position.
Yeah, I think Donata was looking for an out of play, but if the pack had shifted enough that the hit was clean. So Donata's back at the back, all 4 blockers to get through, and a star pass from Hellenauti to Yeti. Gets Team Black Diaspora out on a scoring pass, and Donata says, well, that's no fun. Let's just call off the jam.
The referees are conferring to see if New Skids got any points. I'm not seeing anything.
I don't think that, pretty certain there was, Donata never completed the initial pass after getting knocked out of bounds.
That's right.
So we will stay 38-8. And reset with everyone on the track that can be as the Laughing Planet penalty box currently empty. Freight Train jamming against Falcon Punch.
Falcon Punch squeaking through right before turn 1. Lead jammer for the New Skids.
And Freight Train doing Freight Train things, pushes through the front, knocking Alcatraz out of the way to clear the pack. Falcon Punch well caught behind. Excellent defense by Black Diaspora, holding that to just a single point.
Yeah, Falcon Punch hit that back of the pack hard and just ricocheted off.
There was no one given any room.
Got one single solitary point. I thought Freight Train would get through right before that 4th whistle blew, but no
Not
points
quite.
awarded.
All right, 15 minutes to go in the half. Poison Violet jamming against Chloe David. Poison Violet choosing that, likes the run up. I think Poison Violet really enjoyed when the pivot line start was a thing. That's when I first saw her back in the playoffs years and years ago.
Poison Violet hunkering down, trying to muscle that front 3 wall to the very end of the engagement zone.
Meanwhile, at the back, all 4 blockers for Black Diaspora holding on to Chloe David, and lead jammer going to Poison Violet, and finally has to get let free by Magnum PEI.
Star pass made quadruple 9 Mange Molecule, who was doing great bridging on that first pass.
Poison Violet rolls in, calls off the jam, a 2-0 run. Takes us to 39-10.
New Skids ran up the score pretty quickly early on in this game. Team Black Diaspora has, I think, found their number.
Yeah, they've tightened up the defense, and the jammers are generally getting out. What do we got for lead jammers? 7-3 in favor of Montreal.
Freight Train versus Donata.
Ooh. Donata quickly through.
And Freight Train finds an opening there, also completes an initial pass. Donata now coming in for scoring contention. Gets by everybody, hits it, splits it, quits it, calls it off for a quick 4 points.
Yeah, Donata clipping the edge of Blackjack's hips on the way through.
Quick amendment there. It's only 3 points there scored by New Skids. So they have 42 to Team Black Diaspora's 10. 13-12 remaining.
And now number 10, Swift Justice, jamming against Miracle Whips.
full contingent of skaters.
Yes, indeed. Swift Justice trying on the outside edge. Miracle Whips hung up at the back, getting a little assistance from Grayson. As 144 Holden Killfield trying to help out with the offense, but Swift Justice does, I don't need your help. I'm going to get lead jammer all by myself.
Miracle Whips also escapes. Montreal coming back, and Swift Justice watches Miracle Whips go by. A lot of faith in that Team Black Diaspora line.
And they
Which
earned
well
it, slowing
deserved.
things down. Exactly, like a little offense coming from Grayson, but again, able to absorb and bounce back. Swift Justice trying now around the outside edge is pushed out, and the rollback coming from Bigley Smalls.
Meanwhile, on the opposite side of the track, Miracle Whips gets through, scores a 4-point scoring pass, and Swift Justice has to call it off.
Swift Justice only picking up 3. One of those Montreal skaters able to stay in front the whole time. So a 3-4 run, 13:46 in favor of Montreal.
Get financial guidance for whatever trail you choose from Trailhead Credit Union.
Freight Train back out, as is Falcon Punch on our Jam on Hawthorne jammer line. And Falcon Punch again, just swooping through the middle to grab lead jammer. Freight Train trying to follow behind Queen Lucy-Tifa, but then cutting to the outside to break free of the pack. Falcon Punch bounces off the pack again.
Yeah.
Was Sprint Julep just like holding position, giving a little huff to Queen Lucy-Tifa for bracing that so nobody moved. And 2-0 for Montreal as the jam is called off.
Yeah, my new crown got rattled just watching that hit.
All right, Chloe David set to jam against Hella Naughty.
For all the physicality, that was a clean jam, the last one. Empty penalty box at the moment.
Hella Naughty keeps the feet in bounds.
Yeah, Bigley Smalls thought that Elinati was knocked out.
That was beautiful. Just dancing that line around the corner and clean lead jammer Hella Naughty. But yeah, you're right. Bigley completely thought, oh, I got him out. Answer, no. No, you did not. A little whip around the corner for Hella Naughty. 4 points up. As Chloe David, star in hand, still trapped in the pack.
Here's Helinati coming in with a clutch block there from 777. Perfect.
Oh, man. And Mom was looking at the ref like, is that not a back block? And I was like, no, it hit you on the hip. You just fell down. Not the blocker's fault. Helinati forced out of bounds this time and rolling back. Meanwhile, poor Chloe David still trapped at the front, like every moment thinking something's going on and then just not able to get free.
And as soon as you say that,
then it breaks for. See,
yeah.
It's the reverse penalty announcer curse. Helinati bench is crying for a call-off, does deliver. Got 3 and just in time.
Yeah, New Skid's going for that killer burger apex jump. Not able to stick the landing. 11 points for Team Black Diaspora, nearly doubling their score. 48-24. New Skid still have the lead with 9 minutes remaining.
Yes, New Skid's officially doubling up, and a timeout called by Montreal. Montreal's coach. I like the cool t-shirt. This timeout brought to you by Rose City's official realtor, Deb Counts Tabor. Ready to move to PDX? Join Rose City? Let Welcome to PDX help you find a home. I'm not ready to move to PDX, by the way, but if I were, that's probably who I'd call.
I'm ready to commute here.
Yeah,
pretty
commute.
often.
As long as the weather's better than today.
Yeah.
The daytime gray, wet road I-5 South Drive is no fun.
Yeah, I had like 5 feet of visibility
Yeah,
coming
it's just
between
the
Tacoma
worst.
and Olympia.
It is the worst. We'd like to thank Buffalo Gap Saloon and Eatery, John's Landing's favorite eatery and saloon. And we'll also say a big thanks to the following sponsors: Portland Vital Signs, Reverend's Barbecue, Porque No Taqueria, and Two Rivers Mortgage. Thanks to all of them for sponsoring Rose City, allowing us to have this fine tournament. So Team Black Diaspora has one skater. Thumper is in the penalty box serving a low block, which I think was what Montreal was calling for over there after that jump. They were like, no, that was a low block, right? And apparently the answer was yes.
Dinata wearing the star for the New Skids up against Poison Violet, Team Black Diaspora.
Montreal losing the blocker way out of bounds. That was $9.99 KT Kaboom. Ooh, Dinata spinning out the front to grab lead jammer. It's Poison Violet looking for anything.
Seeing some daylight, finally getting around that last line of defense.
I think that was Lowrider. Yeah, 008 with that end run. Oh, cut track call.
Oh.
Dinata was like, I'm going to call it the jam. And the ref was like, no, you are not. You are going to go take a seat in the Laughing Planet penalty box.
So big power jam opportunity for Poison Violet, and we're going to have the full 2-minute jam here.
Yes, with Poison Violet going sideways around Lowrider, 4 points. Taking us to a 20-point gap, 48-28.
Poison Violet now in scoring contention again.
Thumper providing some offense, trying to break things free. Penalty being called. Someone's going somewhere for a forearm. Oh, that's Thumper. All right, Thumper back to the box. Had been in earlier. Dinata is out and back engaged.
Just thrown almost into the bleachers there by Queen Luzatifa.
That was a thing of beauty. All right, Queen Luzatifa again closing down the inside lane. As Poison Violet trapped at the front.
Yeah, Dinata has a backwards 76 on her that won't wash off for a week.
And this time it is Murda edging things over. And, oh, another big hip check.
Just one to match on the other side.
Why not? We'll just bop you on the other end. 4 points for both teams on that pass, but an 8-4 jam keeps us at 20, 32-52.
6.5 minutes remaining in the first period.
Freight train back out for Team Black Diaspora. Miracle Whips. Back to jam for Montreal. And Miracle Whips. Little burst of speed is clear. Freight train, similar burst of speed, giving chase, and everybody regrouping at the pivot line.
Miracle Whip's coming in hot, calls it off.
Emphatically.
Freight train still picking up 1 point against Miracle Whip's 3.
So 33-55, 22-point game now. 5:50 to go in the period. Number 59, Chloe David, out to jam against Hella Naughty.
Chloe David, Helen Noddy wearing the stars. Full contingent of blockers on the track.
Hella Naughty pushing up to the front. Cheese grater trying some offense, then having to step back to join Blackjack in the bridge position. And then everybody's like, well, forget this bridge. Let's just make one giant pack. That's more fun, right?
Well, it is for someone. Mostly the fans.
Yes, fans very invested.
Got a forearm penalty called on number 21, Blackjack.
Chloe David bumped out of bounds, and a lead jammer going to Hella Naughty. That is the 6th lead jammer for Black Diaspora.
Okay, Traz gets the star pass for New Skids.
Okay, Traz. Oh, that was pretty. Just running up the side, stepping over a leg and grabbing 4 points.
Helinati going for some gambles, still working on that first scoring pass as Alcatraz just goes through nearly untouched for the second scoring trip. Finally, jam is called off. One single solitary point picked up by Team Black Diaspora.
Ooh, man, great work, Montreal, staying in front. I guess that's Alcatraz. 2 straight runs, just finding that tiniest lane on the inside edge to sprint up the edge. Grab the points, 63-31. We're under 4 minutes to go in the period. Winner of this will face Rose City's Axles of Annihilation in the 5th place game tomorrow. Loser will take on Angel City.
Falcon Punch wearing the star for New Skids against Freight Train. And it's the latter of whom goes through.
Yes.
Lead jammer Team Black Diaspora. New Skids just a few strides behind and closing that gap quickly.
Somebody going to the penalty. Forearm penalty called. Falcon Punch. That's why Falcon Punch was through so quickly. Used the arm to shove people out of the way, apparently. So 4 points for Freight Train.
Cartwheels over the New Skids pivot, gets the long run back there.
Yeah, Monge absorbing that hit well. And out again for Freight Train. As Falcon Punch released from the penalty box.
Freight Train seeing a lot more defense here on this pass, and there it's Falcon Punch blasted through, completing the initial trip for New Skids.
Yeah, super. Falcon Punch, very jukey. And Falcon Punch is coming at speed, and you're a blocker and you're standing still, very difficult. Official review.
By both teams, it looks like.
Oh, all right. Well, I'll just go. This official review timeout brought to you by Deb Camp Sabor, Rose City Rollers Realtor. Welcome to PDX. Thank you, Deb, for sponsoring. And we'd like to thank 888. Certified Sweat Saver helmet from 888 is designed for derby, vert ramps, and everything in between, which I guess between flat track derby and a vert ramp would be bank track.
Yeah. The map holds up.
Sure. There's angles.
Yeah.
All right, much conversation. Can mention who our officials are for this game. Our non-skating officials in this game, Andy Oakley, Dinatello, Heads, Masquerade, Loud Llama, Rhodes Warrior, Wizard of Laws, Mr. Nitro, Rex, India Pale Owl, and then again Heads, because I didn't wait to the bottom to read the name.
And wearing the skates and the stripes, skirts so good, Bambi Lance, Kira Duncan, Scary Bee Cheeses, Candyman, SNO, Extra Crispy, and Mass.
I like the fan. That is a needed thing. At least the, I was just going to say that the kettle corn had settled down, but then they just wafted more in. That's very unfair marketing to drop your kettle corn thing right out front.
Black Diaspora is requesting an in-sub call on Green Jammer.
I requested one on that microphone.
Yes.
On Green Jammer 6-6 for not leaving the track immediately upon being called for a forearm. Upon review, the jammer left immediately as soon as the penalty was issued, and Black Diaspora will not retain. Thank you.
All right. Meanwhile, Babyland's still chatting with coaches and captains.
Maybe now they're going to argue the New Skids official review.
Maybe.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
All in due order.
Kind of go one by one. And yes, now we're at Montreal official review. Maybe they'll officially. I don't. At this point, I don't remember what was going on at the end of the jam, so I don't know what they're going to protest. Some of them have been really easy. This one, not so much. Let's thank the Sasquatch HR, making nonprofit and small business workplaces better. SasquatchHR.org.
So just because you're watching the live stream doesn't mean you can't have fun with the rest of us. There
True.
is an official online after party. Just go to your nearest back alley. You bring the paper bag. You bring the bad decision. Post about it using the hashtag #HometownThrowUp2023.
Murray, we'll see you there.
one way or another.
Yes, indeed. Later today, our 5 o'clock p.m. game, so in 2 hours-ish from now, our first semifinal, arch rival versus Victorian Roller Derby League. And our 7:30 closeout game of the evening, the Wheels of Justice from Rat City taking on the Mile High Club from Denver. Let's hear it.
Montreal was requesting a back block call on Black Diaspora Jammer 202 for contact green 999 during 9999 on their initial trip. Upon review, green 9999 moved into the path of the white jammer, and no penalty will be issued, and Montreal will not retain. Thank you.
All right. This was the lesson. You don't step in front of a freight train because you won't get a penalty called for that move.
As a professional conductor, I can agree with that.
You know all about trains.
I do know that Swift Justice jamming against Donata right now. Immediate star stash on the Team Black Diaspora side. Donata just got absolutely shellacked, pig-piled on at the pivot line, bounces right up, goes through lead jammer New Skids.
And a star pass for Team Black Diaspora. Yeti now with the star. And Donata calls off a multiplayer block being called. We'll see on who. Oh, wait, that would be on Donata. Oh, the ever-elusive jammer penalty for multiplayer block where you're grabbing onto somebody and someone else hits the grabbing on point. So 1969 will sit across this team timeout. This team timeout sponsored by Deb Constable. Welcome to PDX, Rose City's official realtor. Timeout called by Black Diaspora. Monge and the New Skids hanging out at the jammer line. The Jam on Hawthorne jammer line sponsored by Jam on Hawthorne, Portland's best vegan-friendly, booze-friendly, kid-friendly, omnivore-friendly, everybody-friendly breakfast.
So with 1 minute, 39 seconds remaining before we go to halftime, New Skids are up by 25 points. They have 66. Team Black Diaspora with 41. You know, if I was a lesser announcer, I'd go, there's still a lot of derby left to skate.
That's right.
But I'm not, so I won't.
All right. It's anybody's game, Murray.
Yeah.
I forgot to bring the bingo card so that we could help people win.
I called that like a hot knife through butter. wait, what?
Yes.
Hey, freight train's jamming.
It is a pow power jam to start this jam off.
Freight train muscling by everyone in a green jersey. Has one to beat to the very end of the engagement zone. Gets past them. Lead jammer. Still with a power jam advantage, Freight Train.
I like that Freight Train goes to the speed skater. I'm holding my hands behind my back. I cannot use my forearms move much of the time. And this time also stepping through, picks up 4 points.
Donata back on the track, working on that initial pass for Montreal.
Mangebois and Cool in the penalty box, serving an illegal position penalty. And Freight Train picks up points, calls off the jam. We got 45 seconds, so we'll get one more jam in. 7 total up for Freight Train and Black Diaspora, taking them to 48. So an 18-point game as we tick down to the end of the first period.
New Skids are going to have Miracle Whips number 1, 2, 3 wearing their star.
And Poison Violet 007 lining up 20 feet behind the jammer line to get a good run up. 3-on-3 in the pack as each team with a blocker serving in the penalty box. Sprint julep for Black Diaspora and Mange out for Montreal. Mange now returning to the game. Miracle Whips, lead jammer.
Lead jam and pack advantage still for Montreal. Miracle Whips, tiptoes in, can't stick the line.
That was also pretty, speaking of spinning and sticking lines.
Poison Violet getting through. That's the initial pass made. And we are going to go to halftime with New Skids picking up 4 more points. They have 70. Team Black Diaspora still with 48.
All right, we'll take a 10-ish minute break. We'll be back with the second half. Black Diaspora versus Montreal. we're back.
We are. Welcome back to day 2 hometown throwdown. New Skids on the block from Montreal have 70 points up against Team Black Diaspora with 48. We're about to start the second half. I'm Murray Grande.
I'm Scott Chicken.
And this has been a very physical,
Yes.
very hard-hitting, very defensive-oriented game. However, very low penalty counts.
Yeah, super low penalty. We're just looking at it. 10 for Montreal, 9 for Black Diaspora. Nobody with more than 2.
Yeah, and only a couple skaters from each team have 2.
Yeah, it's been super clean. And looking at the jammers, lead jammer for Black Diaspora is Freight Train with 18 points and Miracle Whips with 25 for Montreal. So even the scoring is kind of spread out for the teams. It's been nice and even. Further conversation in the middle before we get going. Freight Train will be starting off, jamming against Falcon Punch. When we get rolling, there's the swoop. And Laughing Planet penalty box completely empty to start the second half, which is the way you want it.
Thank you for joining us on the live stream here. Now we start with the second half. And it is Falcon Punch sprinting right through just like she do. Lead jammer for Montreal.
Cut track going to Coco Fry for Black Diaspora. So that'll thin things down.
Falcon Punch with a lot of pirouettes and now just getting stacked on there.
Yes.
Freight Train has stashed the star, got knocked to the outside, recycle and back around. Falcon Punch going to the penalty box.
Cut track called. Some excellent defense on Black Diaspora. Thumper especially jumping to the front to start the slowdown of Falcon Punch on that initial run through. And I didn't catch who had the run back, but for that cut. Excellent work, and Freight Train finally clears. Completes the initial. We got 1 minute and 5 left to go in the jam. 4 on 3 in the pack for Black Diaspora.
Freight Train coming in hot, leaving the same way.
Blue Butt learning again, you don't get in the way of the train. It will roll you down. So 4 points for Freight Train and Black Diaspora as Falcon Punch back out of the penalty box and re-engaged.
Yeah, irresistible force met the immovable object there on this pass. Montreal with that great brace 3-wall holding back Freight Train. Falcon Punch out of the penalty box through the pack, scoring 4 points, as does Freight Train. Freight Train is a full lap ahead, has 8 points so far. Looking for the third scoring pass. Falcon Punch on the second scoring trip.
Cheese Grater trying to provide offense for Falcon Punch. But Falcon Punch forced out of bounds, along with most of the pack for Black Diaspora, and they all rolled back. Freight Train forced out of bounds as well. Did get all 2 points for Falcon Punch.
Team Black Diaspora chipping away at that lead. Now only down to 16 points, 76-60 in favor of Montreal.
Poison Violet out to jam, and along with Miracle Whips on the Jam on Hawthorne jammer line.
Team Black Diaspora with a 4-3 pack advantage.
Yes, Cheese Grater still serving that forearm penalty in the Laughing Planet penalty box. But those 3 holding well to Poison Violet, who rears back to try again to break through the middle of that tripod.
Miracle Whips thrown into the bleachers by 21. Blackjack, not a clean hit, but sure was fun to watch.
Yeah, the crowd liked it.
A Miracle Whips now.
Cuts the track.
Trying to go for that Killer Burger Apex jump. And lead jammer assessed to Poison Violet, who immediately gets swallowed back into the pack and through again. Initial pass made on the power jam for Team Black Diaspora.
Yes, Grayson and Mange a little split apart and couldn't hold on to Poison Violet. Poison Violet this time with some velocity gets through. Mange giving chase, throws the hip check. Grayson also has to give up as Poison Violet had pushed too far ahead, so 4 points up.
Miracle Whips was standing, but then got told to sit back down. Maybe serving 2 penalties.
Still showing cut. Oh, we do have
Got
a
a
misconduct.
misconduct.
So, yes, there must have been a double. And Miracle Whip is like, what are you talking about? And checking in with Duncan, and Duncan's like, you didn't cut directly out. The old you didn't exit the track quickly enough trick.
Poison Violet calling off the jam after scoring 7 unanswered points. And we got the mirror image score there, 67-76.
Oh, if there was a skate company that had a palindromic name that wanted to sponsor this, we could make some commentary, but there isn't, so we won't. We will, however, say this official timeout brought to you by Deb Counts Taylor. Welcome to PDX Timeout is Rat City Rollers, Rose City. This is the problem with calling with you, Murray, is I immediately assume I'm in Seattle, and I'm not. That's what I'm blaming it all on you.
I'll take it. Twitter is.
The Rose City Rollers official realtor. RCR, there's too many RCRs. That's my problem. And it is my problem. It's a me thing.
It's a good problem to have.
It's, something. 888, certified sweat saver, developed, tested, and trusted by the best. Miracle Whip's now standing in the penalty box. Freight Train standing at the Jam on Hawthorne jammer line.
4-on-4 in the pack once we get going in just a few moments here.
Take a moment to thank a couple other sponsors, She-Bop, Menopause Northwest, Big's Chicken, and Fran's Bakery.
This has become an official timeout.
Yes. Not an official review, just a timeout. Referees checking with other referees. Ooh, tape repair time. And now we're getting a Bigley Smalls picking up a misconduct penalty as well and heading over to the penalty box.
Lesser known rule, but any staff must stay out of that penalty box. It is for penalized skaters only.
All right. The old someone stepped into the penalty box that wasn't allowed to step into the penalty box trick.
First start with Freight Train at the helm and a 4-3 pack advantage.
All right. Little crossover on the feed, but that's okay.
Yeah, I wanted to hear a little Bo Bleep.
Yeah, why not?
She's great.
She is.
You know how else is great? Freight Train just busting heads, going through, throwing shoulders like Stan Hansen lariats, getting lead jam. Miracle Whips back on the track, work on the initial pass for New Skids. There is a run back by Lowrider on Freight Train.
Yes, and Freight Train lowering the shoulder on Lowrider, but not able to knock him out. And this time, Freight Train is through, and that is 4 points. And now we're down to, and Miracle Whip's heading back to the penalty box.
Forearm penalty.
Oh, my.
Sits in the seat just as Freight Train comes in for a second scoring pass.
And this is now a 1 point game, 75-76, crowd going wild. Black Diaspora looking for their first game of first lead of the tournament.
Freight Train and going down to a knee, calls off the jam from the outside, and
we'll see how many
now
come in.
has the lead by 1 point. 77-76, Team Black Diaspora.
And that is your official hydration break. As Poison Violet comes back out, sends Helenaughty back to the bench.
Still with the power jam opportunity.
Yes. Miracle Whip starting her third straight jam as jammer. Poison Violet trying to stretch things out. Miracle Whip's now released. And Miracle Whip's up the inside edge, grabs lead super quick through the pack. Black Diaspora not quite able to close off that lane quickly enough.
Poison Violet going left, going right. Can't see any daylight. Still working on the initial pass for Team Black Diaspora. Miracle Whips now side steps on the inside line for a 4-point pass and the lead.
Oh, and I thought that was going to be a star pass there as Blackjack was sneaking up on Poison Violet and cut away. And now it is. It's sort of the fakie and then the return.
Miracle Whips gets through one more time, calls off the jam.
And with that 4, we stay with we're at 77 for Black Diaspora and add 4 to take us to 80 for Montreal. And we will reset.
Team Black Diaspora keeping a tight jammer rotation, sending
Yeah.
Freight Train out again, up against 1969 Donata.
Yeah, super tight 2-run here. Freight Train pushing everybody forward as Montreal shedding blockers to bridge and bridge and bridge, and a forearm called, and Freight Train is lead jammer again.
Donata stuck right at the pivot line. Bit of a pig pile there.
And shouldered to the ground by Yeti. And then another bump down from again Yeti with the doubling up on the hits. His Freight Train is through for 4.
Donata has 2 to beat. It's a 3-3 pack at the moment. And there's the initial pass completed by Donata.
Freight Train checks the bench, calls off the jam, holds Montreal scoreless, and Freight Train adds 1 more.
1 on the pass, 5 on the jam. And it's down to just a couple separating these teams again, 84 to 82. 21 and a half minutes remaining in regulation.
Back out Swift Justice, jamming against Falcon Punch.
4-3 pack advantage goes to the new skids.
Oh, Falcon Punch throwing a little offensive shoulder there, knocking Swift Justice to the ground and then running up the outside to grab lead jammer.
Swift Justice just seen a cavalcade of rotating blockers at the front. There is Falcon Punch now in scoring contention. Just trying to drive right through the middle of that braced tripod.
Yeah, Queen Luciatifa as the brace with Blackjack and Murda holding on. Thumper back out of the penalty box.
Falcon Punch just steps back, goes around and through for a 4-point scoring pass. Track cut called on a new skids blocker.
And star pass complete. Blackjack now with the star on the helmet. Falcon Punch dances. Days not quite able to stay in bounds. Rolls out, but not calling off the jam quite yet.
Blackjack in scoring contention, got knocked to the inside, now the out, going back around as Falcon Punch puts up another 4 points.
Yeah, I think Falcon Punch going to trust the defense here for a bit and just try to continue adding to the point total. All 4 blockers at a heavy shoulder, taking Falcon Punch to the ground. Falcon Punch getting a little offensive assistance from Artsy Choke, but ends up out of bounds anyway, and everybody's backing up as Blackjack also out of bounds. We'll just do a backward skate for a while.
I mean, we're going to lose an hour tonight anyway.
Yeah, what the heck? Wind it back. Keep winding, keep winding. Finally, everyone's back on. Falcon Punch just gonna like shake hands with Thumper and like, this jam's almost over. I'm not doing anything. We're just gonna sit here. Blackjack, on the other hand, says, I want some points. Four at the last moment. 2 more up for Falcon Punch. A 10-4 jam in favor of Montreal. They now lead 94-86. And a timeout called by Team Black Diaspora. This timeout brought to you by Deb Counts Piano Tabor. Welcome to PDX, Rose City's official realtor. don't have that down quite as well as Puns.
You know what? Rose City has new merch.
They do. I've
Head to our
heard.
website and get all your RCR swag and rep your favorite teams.
And if you're in Portland, you can come down here and you could buy a ticket and you could buy merch from all these visiting teams as well. Also want to mention that you can support Black Diaspora Roller Derby by making a donation. Get out your phones. There is a QR code that hopefully is on the screen right now. We can't see the YouTube, but presumably it's in there. You could scan that. And they also, if it's similar to the one that's on the scoreboard in the venue, they've got a Venmo and a PayPal and a Cash App link as well.
And if you're enjoying the bout today, don't forget to tag at Rose City Rollers. If you like what I'm doing, it's at Murray Grande. If you don't, it's at Phil Dirt.
And I am at Scott Chicken on most platforms. If you would like to complain about me saying Rat City instead of Rose City, please feel free to weigh in. It's especially good because I have no cell reception in this building at all, so I can't check any of my DMs until after everything is done.
Chloe David finding the outside lane, goes through nearly untouched. Lead jammer already in scoring contention, but just bouncing off a perfect there at the back of the pack. 33-81, Hella Nadi in possession of the star.
Yes,
for
carrying
Team
the
Black
star.
Diaspora.
And trapped and shouldered out by Blue Butt right at the end, just trying to get around the corner, but not able to. Chloe David sneaking around the inside, gets around Yeti to grab 4 points. Perfect now at the back of the pack, holding on to Chloe David. As Helenauti continues to push against the Montreal defense. Cheese grater on the bridge position. Yeti now moving forward to maybe offer a little offensive assist and reestablish the pack a little farther forward. Or just go and grab the star. Sure, that works too. Yeti now with the star, but also forced out of bounds.
Okay, Traz going to the penalty box for a forearm. So thinning out the Montreal herd just a little bit. Team Black Diaspora still is working on the initial pass, which is completed right there. Chloe David on a second scoring trip.
Yeah, Chloe David able to avoid Holden Killfield, who was moving in with intent.
These defenses are so good, so physical.
Yes.
Watching the jammers trying to navigate through, reminds me of a spoon getting caught in a garbage disposal.
Yes. A lot of spinning with not much gain. 8 points up for Montreal on that last end. Takes them over 100 now, 102. We've got 17 minutes to go in the game, 102-86.
Both teams sending out their big guns. It's Freight
Yes.
Train and Miracle Whips.
Freight Train looking on the outside. Miracle Whips to the end. Both were bumped. Freight Train managed to stay in bounds. 2 skaters, now 3 to beat at the front.
Miracle Whips being caught behind some braced walls with some fancy footwork, going out, going in, going through. A little bit too much, though. Track cut called on Montreal. Freight Train power jam advantage still working on the initial pass. Just absolutely stymied by that 3-wall of Montreal.
Miracle Whip serving the cut track penalty. That is her third. And finally, Freight Train is clearly jammer. Black Diaspora.
Great footwork there. Spinning around just on the tippy top of the toe stops. Now coming around in scoring contention, looking to chip away at Montreal's lead.
Murda serving a forearm penalty for Black Diaspora. So that takes them down to 3 blockers as Miracle Whip's back into the pack. Cuts through, but a quick run forward by Diamond.
It's a great one-on-one defense at the very end of the engagement zone. Freight Train out of the pack, scores 4 points, calls it off. And we are just about halfway through the second period. 12 points separating these teams now. 102 Montreal, 90 for Team Black Diaspora.
Murda standing in the penalty box. So almost done with that forearm. Falcon Punch out to jam against Poison Violet.
Poison Violet starting on the jam line.
What? What are you doing? That's not how that works.
You gotta flip it on him sometimes.
Yeah, fool, get him thinking. Get him thinking. Murda out to provide some offensive assistance. Falcon Punch clear, but not lead jammer.
Got a no pass, no penalty on that.
So lead. Oh, man. That was a killer apex jump because it was legal. Did get the feet, landed in bounds. Killerberger happy to sponsor that jump. 4 points for Montreal.
Poison Violet still working on the initial pass, eligible to become lead jammer.
Wisely has not pulled off the helmet cover. We did see that yesterday with, I forget which game, but the jammer who was tagged lead in one of those like almost out of the pack, but knocked down, didn't realize, pulled it off. 2-minute jam. Meanwhile, Poison Violet locked up, as is everyone else, including Falcon Punch, who's out of the penalty box, and now both teams back at full strength. And Falcon Punch side straddle hopping up the line for 4 points.
Poison Violet almost saw some daylight, but knocked to the inside. Quick recycle back round to get into legal position. Still working on the initial pass. This is the third scoring trip for Falcon Punch.
30 seconds to go in the jam. Poison Violet forced out of bounds again. Almost cutting back in, but Alcatraz with an extra little run back.
Falcon Punch has got the little boop to the outside. And another run back on that backstretch.
Poison Violet just frustrated by the closing down of that inside line and just finally looks at the clock like, A 2-minute jam. 8 points, 12 points up on the board as Falcon Punch able to complete 3 passes through. And Montreal on the serious lockdown on that jam. That was some crazy good defense. 114 to 90. Freight train back on the line.
Donata lining up next to them.
Donata coming back in and then slipping to the ground, and Sprint Julep almost like stepped on it.
Freight Train sees some daylight there at the top apex, getting through. She is lead jammer.
Donata rolling back in. Grayson trying to break things up, but again, Black Diaspora defense closing it down. Blackjack at the front to provide some offense, trying to do some defense as well. But Donata finally able to escape.
Sprint Jula trying to wreck shop in the middle there, open up a line for Freight Train. New Skid's defense just closes the gaps as soon as they're opened. And jam is called off. 3 unanswered points for Team Black Diaspora.
Takes us to a 21-point game with 11 and a half minutes to go. 114-93. Number 10, Swift Justice, set to dance him against Chloe David, number 59 from Montreal. Laughing Planet penalty box. Free of penalized players.
Like a rocket, Swift Justice gets through, earns lead. But the New Skids blockers able to swarm around.
Yeah, just Swift Justice just enough off balance to fall down and give them that chance to catch up. Meanwhile, Black Diaspora loses Thumper to the penalty box for illegal position.
At the back of the pack, number 26, Coco Fry, holding back Chloe David.
And perfect with the shoulder to take Chloe David to the ground. Chloe David finally room on the outside. That lets Black Diaspora move to offense. And I like Yeti blocking someone out of the way and grabbing Swift Justice's jersey to whip her around.
Swift Justice takes off the cover, unable to call off the jam now.
I think it was knocked off because they're still pointing. Well, maybe not. No, I guess not.
We'll see right here.
Maybe the ref didn't realize. The ref continued to point, but now no.
Yeah, so this will be a full 2-minute jam, only 48 seconds remaining. Swift Justice now in scoring contention. Chloe David also working on a first scoring pass.
Black Diaspora shedding another player to the penalty box. That's Coco Fry for a direction penalty. Chloe David finally clears, collects the first 4 of the jam with 25 seconds to go. Swift Justice trying the inside, bumped out by Katie Kaboom, who then just regroups as the back end of that tripod held by Low Rider at the front.
Chloe David extending out. The defense survives that last line of blocking, gets through. 4 on the pass, 8 on the jam. Team Black Diaspora also picking up 4 points, so it's 122 to 97, just under 9 minutes remaining.
Yeah, Yeti, just phenomenal work holding at the front for as long as possible.
The Laurelhurst Theater is bringing the best of classic and modern cinema to Portland. Watch stuff there.
Yeah, thanks to them for sponsoring Rose City and this tournament.
Miracle Whips, Freight Train wearing the stars, and 202 goes through. Lead jammer to Team Black Diaspora.
Black Diaspora losing Queen Luzia Tifa to the penalty box as Miracle Whips
Joins the Team Black
deposited to the Team
Diaspora.
Black Diaspora bench and now tangled up on a bag. Wow, that was a long slide. Miracle Whips had some serious velocity going.
That was like a Tenacious D power slide.
Yes. Miracle
Freight
Whips.
Train in the fracas scored 4, already coming back around for more. Pirouetting on the inside line, goes in, gets by 3 out of the 4, so 7 unanswered points. Brings Team Black Diaspora into triple digits. New Skids with the lead still by 18. It's 122 to 104.
Poison Violet jamming against Denata this time. Violet well back for the run up.
New Skids 4-3 blocker advantage as Queen Luzia is still serving for that direction of gameplay penalty. Donata finds an opening right before turn 1. Lead jammer New Skids.
That breaks a 3-jam streak for Black Diaspora.
Poison Violet stashed the star, looks to hand it off. But New Skids aren't allowing the pivot to be anywhere close.
Queen Luzia Tifa with the shoulder to the ground and then the stand over the skater. One of my favorite moves. And now Queen Luzia Tifa rolling back with Denata.
Yeti finally gets the jammer cover, completes the initial pass for Team Black Diaspora.
And Denata still fighting, caught up at the back now.
Yeti busting on by everybody. 4-point scoring pass, Team Black Diaspora.
And finally, Denata calls off the jam, also adding 4, so a 4-4, 108-126. We're down, ticking towards 6 minutes to go in the game. Winner of this takes on the Axles of Annihilation from Rose City in our 5th place game tomorrow at 1 p.m. Loser will face Angel City at 11 in the morning tomorrow. And a team timeout. This team timeout sponsored by Deb Constable. Welcome to PDX, your official Rose City Roller Realtor.
Also, Secret Aardvark, the local made flavor that kicks you in the mouth.
I just don't think I want to get kicked in the mouth.
But it's with flavor, not
That's true.
not a foot.
Well, I guess if I could have some Two-Town cider to wash it down with, that would be good. Two-Town cider, damn fine cider made right here in the Pacific Northwest. And I would agree, it is a fine cider. But if you're not a cider person and you're looking for something else, and you can find it on the sheet, you could go to Rogue Ales and Spirits. World-class ales, lagers, spirits, and canned cocktails, also made right here in Oregon. Thank you, Rogue Ales and Spirits, for sponsoring.
Or if you're holding edge, there's Liquid Death. If you know, you know.
And if you don't know, you got to get some, and then you'll know, I think is how that works. All right. Freight Train out to jam again. Chloe David with the star for Montreal.
4-4 pack in front of them.
6 minutes, 3 seconds on the clock. And a lot of standing around, not much going on. Hey, except for Freight Train getting lead jammer. That's something that happened.
Chloe David just on her back like a some kind of metaphor.
Yes. Something. Make some noise.
You'll be here
Sort
for
of
my
like
attorney.
whatever that bug was that just flew past. 4 points for Freight Train on an easy pass through the first time. Now everybody just in a giant pile in the middle of the track.
Chloe David still working on the initial pass for New Skids on the block. And there is every single blocker trying to hold Freight Train back. She gets knocked to the inside.
Yep, Alcatraz with the final pressure, and then everybody tumbled to the middle.
Chloe David gets hit to the inside just about the same spot.
Yep, Blackjack and the rest of the team on the run back.
Illegal contact called on Murda.
So Murda will sit, leaving no one to play offense with Freight Train. And Freight Train forced out of bounds again. Chloe David up the outside.
Oh,
Gets the 4 points jam called off. So an 8-4 jam in favor of Black Diaspora. Now takes us 116 to 130. 4:20 to go in the game. Miracle Whips back out to jam against Swift Justice. Swift Justice pushing on the outside. Miracle Whips trying something on the inside edge, but nothing doing.
and Miracle Whips with a lot of lateral movement. Just now a lot of backwards movement.
Yes, and this time bumped again by Yeti, but
Like a penalty being assessed
Oh!
for a Miracle Whips.
that is Miracle Whips' fifth penalty, I believe. Yes.
Swift Justice has stashed the star, so this will be a full 2-minute shootout. Oh, it's a star pass made to Yeti, who gets out, completes the initial pass for Team Black Diaspora.
And Yeti's all, hey, now I got a minute 15 that I got to do this. All right, let's go. Yeti bouncing off of 0-3 Grayson and then absorbed back, and Grayson returns the favor, knocking Murda to the ground.
Miracle Whips back on the track, going one-on-one with Murda.
And a pile up at the front as Swift Justice kind of took a tumble and is now bridging. Miracle Whips finally clears to complete the initial 40 seconds to go. Yeti and Miracle Whips both on a pass, and cut track called on Yeti.
Oh, put a big hit on the way out.
Miracle Whips spins to the infield. 24 seconds to go in the jam. Didn't quite catch when Yeti sat down, so I don't know if this penalty will end in this jam or carry forward to the next. But Yeti definitely with points in the helmet cover. 4 points up for Miracle Whips. 7 seconds. Miracle Whips racing to get back to the pack. Black Diaspora not racing forward. Miracle Whips goes airborne. Did the foot land in? Miracle Whips strongly pleading the case to the jam ref. And jam ref's like, we got to wait till the jam ends before I'll put my fingers up. Yes, indeed. For their 3 points for Yeti.
What a Killer Apex jump brought to you by Killer Burger.
Yes, Killer Burger is delicious. 5 minutes to deliciousness from right here at the hangar at Oaks Park.
Freight Train jamming up against Donata.
Black Diaspora trying to call timeout, but no one caught it. So the jam has started with 1:28 to go.
Great screen there from Blackjack.
And Freight Train rolled all the way back behind the jammer line. And Blackjack another hip check out.
Yeah, didn't know how to go in back inbounds, just about the same spot.
And again, forced out by Blackjack. Blackjack.
There was a whistle, yeah,
yes.
for a penalty on Blackjack.
Blackjack picks up the penalty call. And now, oh! Queen Lucia Tifa gets the direction of play penalty called. I was looking at that going, I don't think those wheels are going the right direction. And indeed they weren't. Lead jammer finally, a minute into the jam, goes to Daynata. And we got 34 seconds left in this game on the period clock.
That hit was so hard, I think it formed a
oh
pocket
my
universe.
Lord. Yeah, that was a thing. 4 points up for Daynata. As the new skids, not even a tripod. This is more like, I don't know, like they're playing Ring Around the Rosie or something for a minute there, just rotating in a circle.
Just a blocker blender.
Yes.
Holding Freight Train in on the initial pass, which is no easy feat.
Not at all.
Daynata calls off the jam, seeing that the game clock has reached 0.
Man, that was a tough fought, really good game.
That was my honor to call this.
That was super fun. Good work by both teams, and it'll be interesting to see. So tomorrow, as Montreal has won, final score 146. Take on the Axles of Annihilation in our 5th and 6th place game. But Team Black Diaspora will play at 11 o'clock against Angel City, and there is some crossover between these two teams, so it'll be interesting to see who plays on which team. All right, we will now take about a 1-hour break. Next up on this fine YouTube channel will be the Victorian Roller Derby League, who one of these days, I need to suggest this to them, that they actually wear like Victorian era costumes, because that would be ridiculous, but it would be fun to watch. VRDL will take on arch rival in our first semifinal. That will be followed at 7:30 by Rose City's Wheels of Justice. See, I got the league right this time. Yeah. Against the Denver Roller Derby Mile High Club. That's at 7:30. Murray Grande, it has been a pleasure.
Scott Chicken, it has been just amazing announcing with you again. I love it. And yeah, tutus are out, but hoop skirts are in.
Yes, there we go. And petticoats. I want nothing but maybe some boning.
Give a high five to your screen for Team Black Diaspora taking their consolation lap.
And we will be back in an hour.
See you.